It is time for a Woman of the Week interview with Broadly Entertaining. Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie, and I'm going to be joined very shortly by Kelly Johnson, the owner and founder of a company based here in Austin, Texas, where I am. Hello, hello, Red Doll. Kelly Johnson is the owner of IREP, which stands for I Recycle Everything Possible. They are a junk hauling company, but they don't just take your junk and bring it to the trash. They sort through things that have been parted with, and they have this amazing resale shop. You can go on their website and find like decent pieces of furniture for $20, $50, depending on what you're talking about. There is one giant conference table that happens to be on sale for a few $1,000s, but it is a giant conference table, so you got to understand that, Red Doll, is that you, Kelly? Is this your private? Yeah, it looks like those are pictures of you. Oh, hi, Barnaby. Yay! Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I am doing really well. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love those glasses.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So yeah, as you heard, I was just introducing you and your amazing company.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, as I was saying, Kelly is the founder of IREP, an amazing junk hauling business based in and around Austin, Texas. But like I said, they don't just take fill. So I love it. Junk haulers with the heart of gold. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I love your channel, so I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Oh, it is all our honor and absolute pleasure. You are a delight. So everybody get ready for some fun. Get ready to meet Kelly. You're going to love her by the time we are done with this chat. So Kelly, let's dive right in and let's talk about being eco-conscious in this world and, where that started for you. I remember when I was in fourth grade, we had an Earth Day project and the whole class was broken up into groups. And my group, our assignment was like collecting fast food trash, like how much garbage you create from one meal of fast food. And this is like a visual that still sticks in my mind. So yeah, I remember that as like a turning point for young Jamie of being like, this is terrible. We need to do something about this. So I wonder if you also have sort of, if this has been since youth or what is your sort of eco-conscious birth?
Yeah. So, growing up, my family was, we picked up after ourselves. If we had a picnic, so we were raised really eco-conscious. Mm-hmm. Obviously, recycling wasn't as big back then when I was a kid, but my defining moment was when I was a property manager. So I did a lot of years in the restaurant business. I took a little break and I did only like 3 years of property management. And I got to see firsthand how much stuff people leave behind when they move. And then I just watched the maintenance just bag it all up and throw it in the dumpster. And it was all, not all, but like a good chunk of it was dishes that someone could use, clothes that someone could use. And it broke my heart to see it just going into the trash. And so I said, is there a way we can sort this and donate it? And their answer always was, we're too busy. We don't have time. And that really broke my heart. So I think of the people that could really use this stuff, the people that have fallen on hard times. We saw a lot of that during 2020, continuing on into 2021. So, ahead of time, I was just kind of like, let's put this stuff to use. So that was kind of my defining moment as far as just let's keep as much out of the landfills as possible. So yeah, that's how IREP was formed.
Yes, love it. Love a good origin story. And so like you say about these, the property managers and the people working in that field, just not having the time, not having the bandwidth, the space on their calendar, or the work in their body. They're already doing a lot of work with their body, right? There's only so much you can put your body through as one individual. So so knowing that you're going into an industry where the common idea is just we're getting rid of it, we're putting it into the trash. And on top of that, you are a woman who owns a business in a space that I assume does not see a lot of businesses with women at the helm. So, I wonder sort of taking that and kind of running with it, being an eco-conscious woman who is running a business in the junk hauling industry, where does that set you apart, and how do you see that show up in maybe some unexpected differences?
Yeah, so I'm part of a national group of junk haulers, and it is male dominant, but there's a few other women in other parts of the country, which is awesome. I love it. There are some women that work right alongside their husbands or their partners, and that's really cool. But I think one thing that I've seen that is a common theme amongst mostly the men fighting W-2 jobs, livable wages with health benefits, retirement benefits, paid vacation, paid holidays. My goal was to not only keep things out of the landfill, but also provide jobs where, they get their nights off, and most of them get weekends off, and they have a job. I mean, it's not a glamorous job, but sometimes the treasures that the guys find along the way are kind of make it worth it. But yeah, I'm just providing employment that at the end of the day, these guys can say, I have a job that pays me a livable wage, that gives me benefits. I get a vacation that I get paid for, and I'm doing some good in the world. I'm not just slinging burgers. Not that slinging burgers isn't a great thing, because I definitely appreciate that. But just knowing that you're making a difference in the world, you're keeping things out of the landfill, So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I wouldn't have thought that being a business that sees your staff as long term would be something that was so different, and that it would be much more of a like temporary contractor, hire one gig and then never see them again kind of industry. That's fascinating.
Right. Yeah, it's what's really great too is I now have regulars that will call and ask for my employees by name. Like, hey, is Gilbert available, or is Forrest available? It's really cool. So they've gotten to really know and just love and I hire nothing but the best. They're all so great. So it's hard to find good workers, but the ones I do find are really top notch. So
yeah. And then you want to hold on to them. You understand as a business owner that there are things that you can do that will make it more enticing and enjoyable to work with you and for you.
Right. Yeah.
So obviously you care about being, eco-conscious and earth-friendly, and you care about workers' rights, and so you are a person who cares. There are causes that you champion, and I wonder, in addition to the ones that we've touched on, what is something that you want more people to be aware of or passionate about, or just something that gets you going that we might not yet know from this conversation?
Because I'm so passionate about saving things from the landfill, and we do a lot of donating. I can really appreciate that people fall on hard times. Life is definitely not an easy cakewalk, So I'm real passionate about just helping others. And one of the organizations that we like to support is the Hill Country Ride for AIDS. It's a family-friendly bike festival or bike ride. They basically like treat it like a festival. And they raise money to provide support for people affected by HIV and AIDS, their family members. I mean, and they raise like $500,000 every ride, and it's incredible. And to see people that are affected by this that just have all these resources, nowadays, because definitely like back in the 80s, it was very taboo. They didn't have these resources. And I love that Austin being such a cycling friendly city, what a great organization and what a great way to raise money through riding bikes, So we let the ride director Taylor Stockett is just an incredible human being that I have befriended over the last year. So, I mean, great organization run by great people. And so that I like organizations that truly help other people. And then one other one I would like to mention is Central Texas Table of Grace, run by Stacy Johnson. It's basically a children's shelter, but she came from the system and ended up emancipating herself. Her story is amazing. She's actually would be a great guest for your Woman of the Week. She's got an incredible story, but she just wants to provide for children that an experience in the system that is much better than what she got. So that's another one that we like to support as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's fabulous. And I know that the Hill Country Ride for AIDS also does monthly rides, I believe, around the city. They do smaller events throughout the year. So any cyclists out there based anywhere in Texas, if you're interested in supporting a great cause, check it out. And then you said the other one was Children's Table for Grace?
It's Central Texas Table of Grace.
Central Texas Table of Grace. Central Texas Table of Grace. Fabulous. I'll remember that. We'll tag them below. We're going to tag all of these that we mention in the caption or comments so that everyone who is watching can follow through and make a connection and learn more about these amazing causes and maybe get involved in some way. You can always make a small donation. If you don't have the time, you can always send a $5 donation. That will always be appreciated by any organization that has funds to raise. So, things to keep in mind. Awesome. Now, Kelly, I know that you are a parent as well.
Yes.
So, with all this talk about trying to make the world better and continuing to have some optimism and some faith and putting our work behind that as we try to build a better future that we're not necessarily going to be here for. I am curious what your sort of highest hopes and most optimistic, best case scenario, what are your wishes basically for your children and future generations?
So if you look at, this is kind of a twofold for me. The most immediate kind of thing that I'm trying to pass on, especially to my daughter and other daughters out there, but my daughter, I want her to see that, like, when people hear that, like, way back when I first started this business, you're a woman trying to start a junk removal business, really? And I did it, and I started it, and now I'm a successful junk hauling business, My daughter is 5'3", and she has been playing varsity basketball for a 6A school since she was a sophomore in high school. And one of the things, and obviously I've had this business a lot longer than that, but I wanted her to see, as well as other female, especially in that those teenage years, that don't let society dictate what you can and can't do. Don't say you're not tall enough to play basketball. So that's kind of the immediate message I'm trying to send. Don't let society dictate what you can and can't do. If you want to go and pick up trash, don't let society tell you can't go and pick up trash, right? But as far as long term, my goal for IREP is to start a education program where we go into the schools at no cost to the schools and we teach kids the correct way to recycle. It blows my mind how many adults think you can recycle a pizza box in your blue recycling bin. You cannot. If you take nothing from this interview, you cannot recycle a pizza box. The oils from the pizza get into the cardboard and it jams up the machines, but you can compost them. So if you have a compost bin, you can definitely compost those. But yeah, we want to go into the schools because, old habits die hard. If you're already an adult and you've never been recycled, it's really hard to kind of change that. But if we can start at the elementary level and make it fun and make it a game. My sales and marketing director used to teach kids theater. And so I think between the two of us, we could really get into the schools and we could really make a difference. We both have theater backgrounds. So we could make it fun, make it more like a production, and just teach and get this new generation, these little kids, as they're growing up, to be a lot more recycling and eco-conscious.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Especially knowing that a lot of what we think we know about recycling has been us being purposefully misled as
Yeah.
consumers so that, the manufacturing industry is the fossil fuel more than we were actually doing so that they can sort of continue operating,
Right.
without much change. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love the idea of educating the kids, let them know what's up and get that information out there. And then it's always fascinating to me how much that education trickles upward. You teach kids something and then they go home and they teach their elders, hopefully, who
Yeah.
take it in and are willing to be taught by children, that
Right.
there is constantly new information out there and that
Right.
when we know better, we can do better.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, love this, love this. So if anyone out there has any connections, you can help get IREP in the schools sooner than later. Reach out, let us know what's up. So finally, Kelly, my last question for you is because Broadly Entertaining is an events and party company, we always like to find out what people's kind of party style is. So my question for you is what is something that if you knew it was happening at a party, you would be like, there is nothing keeping me from that party. Like you put this on an invitation, Kelly's going to be there.
Oh, this is a good one. I love this question because I used to be a party planner as well, and I used to do like themed events, and so I used to just plan and execute the parties. I never really got to party with the people, but I will tell you, I'm a sucker for big active games, like those giant Jengas and just things that you can do while still carrying on a conversation. Like trivia is okay. You can still kind of carry on conversations, but so many like game nights, you can't really carry on conversations because you're like so focused on the strategy of the game. But something like, giant Jenga or the giant trash can, like beer pong, but it's with volleyball and a trash can, like, silly things like that. Just things where you can just go be silly and not take yourself too seriously. I'm all about the trivia nights and stuff like that, but I just like the I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing. I don't have to put a lot of thought into it. Just let me come and hang out and and also beer. Beer is really important to me. So. But yeah, just fun, silly stuff. I love it.
Yes, love it. We love fun, silly stuff too. That is great. That is a great answer. I hope we'll get to party with you.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
I'm hoping so as
I want
well.
to see this giant trash can beer pong setup. That sounds dangerous and so fun.
So much fun. So much fun.
That was amazing. Kelly, thank you so much for taking the time and having a chat with me this afternoon.
Absolutely. I'm so blessed to have the crew that I do because it allowed me to take a step out of the field and sit here and talk to you. So kudos to my crew, man. They're awesome.
Yeah, give it up for the team. Absolutely.
Yep.
Right, fabulous. And we're going to send a lot more people your way if we can.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.